After a summer of golfing, I'm gonna show you what's in the bag. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. Hey, I've been golfing all summer because it's one of the few things that the crown allows you to do these days. And I thought that I would show you what is now in my golf bag here because I've done a pretty good swap of just about everything. Now, first of all, I have the October Golf Gear golf bag here, and that's because it's a modular bag and I can actually put some of the other pouches that I want, including the cooler, and that was really the big one. And this is a great little golf bag, and it just happens to match all my other stuff. Now, first of all, I want to show you the big dog here, and this is my driver. And the big thing about this is that I actually did not do a review on this. So I played with it all summer, and I probably should have shown it to you, but I actually had played with a Callaway Rogue driver previously because they actually make a draw driver, and since I have a slice, it was one of those things that I could actually hit straight, and they had a nice weighting system, and I used that. But I actually upgraded this year to another Callaway driver called the Mavrik. Goose, Mavrik. And this driver has actually been great too, because even though they don't call it the draw driver, they call it the Mavrik Max. What you can see right there is it's basically just like the Rogue Draw in that we have a heel weight right there, which helps counteract a slice. Now, the other thing is the face here has that AI technology, and so I think it's supposed to be everything that the Rogue was, but just better. Now, I have been hitting it about the same as the Rogue, and I would say that generally, if you're hitting the Rogue pretty well, I would just maybe stick with this. I don't know that I'm hitting any better with it, but I'm not hitting any worse, and it certainly seems like a nice club, so I've been happy with it. Now, the funny thing about this is that some people hate this kind of copper orange color here. I actually love it, and that's actually one of the reasons that I upgraded, even though a lot of people said that they weren't having significant improvements over the Rogue with the Mavrik, but I just love that, dude. That is beautiful. In fact, wouldn't mind even having a car in that color, maybe a Plymouth Prowler or something. So anyway, just thought I'd share that because I love it. Now, the next thing here is that I don't have a 3 or 5 wood anymore. What I have are a 3 and 5 hybrid. Now, what's kind of an interesting story is that I have been playing these Callaway Rogue Hybrids, and they were great, and I've been playing these for a while, and I can actually smack the heck out of them, and they have really replaced all my long irons. I don't carry a 3 or 4 iron anymore because I never really hit those well, and these I can really put out there 200 plus yards. Now, what's interesting about this is that this is a little bit of an older club, and even though I can hit them pretty well, I still have a tendency to fade them. So what I did last year is I actually picked up a set of these, and these are Taylormade M3 Hybrids, and they have a movable weight here. So I was thinking, well, I might be able to dial in a little bit of draw, compensate a little bit, and you know, everything that I've got in the Callaway Rogue Hybrids, but with a little more adjustability. And I went out on the golf course with this feeling good, and I just cannot hit these for some reason. And I'm not sure if it's the way they're weighted or the look or whatnot. So what's funny about this is that I decided to go back to the Rogue Hybrids that I could hit. And because I had already gotten rid of my old Rogue Hybrids, I actually had to buy a new set of Rogue Hybrids. And so I've been playing with these, and they're amazing, just like I expected. And until I can find a hybrid now that outperforms these, I certainly won't replace them in my bag. And that's something that I learned from Rick Shields, not to replace anything unless you're hitting it better. Now, on to my irons. And these irons I actually did get this year. They are relatively new, and I had been looking at Cobra Irons for a while because I really wanted to go to the single length or one length irons because I had really looked to kind of simplify my swing, you know, especially as an occasional golfer, just mimicking one swing and kind of staying away from the long iron type of setup, the longer shafts, the shallower lie angle, those types of things. And I thought, hey, going to one length might be really useful. Now, actually what Cobra has is a series of one length irons, and they've had different models over the last few years, and they have all gotten really good reviews, and this was the latest one. Now, they have something called the Fmax Iron, which actually I think is designed for someone like me. It's very forgiving, it's a little bit heel heavy, so kind of forgives the fades, but they don't make it in the one length. The club they make in the one length now is called the Speedzone, and this is supposed to include all of their technology. It's not necessarily supposed to be a fade correcting club, but it is supposed to help everyone. It's a game improvement iron for sure. As you can see, a cavity back right there, low center of gravity, high moment of inertia. They're supposed to be pretty easy to hit. I did go ahead and splurge, and I upgraded to these recoil graphite shafts, and I just love everything about these clubs. They are pretty easy to hit. Now, the one length clubs that I was fooling around with before, the Orlamars, were actually only $200 set, and that's really what convinced me to get these, because I was actually hitting those pretty well. For a cheap set of golf clubs, I was hitting them better than my old Callaway irons, and so I decided to go to the one length because I thought that was a part of the improvement, but then also a high technology club like the Cobra Speedzone, and I have not regretted that at all. Now, let's keep going down the line here. Now, in terms of the wedges, I actually tried a couple different wedges this year, and the Wilson Staff wedges also have a competitor to this Callaway PM grind, and it's a great wedge, and they have a high toe with a lot of grooves, the grooves that go all the way to the top. And in some ways, I think the Wilson Staff wedge was superior, and it actually really was nostalgic for me, because when I played golf in high school, I played with Wilson Staff Ultra irons, and I really loved them. One thing that I really loved about the Wilson wedges is that they had a bore-through hosel, so that was kind of retro there. Now, the reason I went to the Callaway is because I was actually a little sold on the brand. I kind of sold out here a little bit. Now, the PM grind means that this was Phil Mickelson designed, so they're really nice. I love the fact that we have the high toe here, especially when I am setting up for a shot and I want to open the club face up so that I can get a really, really weak loft on it and really flop that. I can do that. Now, I carry this in the 60 degree as well as the PM grind in the 54. So I have a couple of different clubs here for those flop shots. Now, talking about the short game, the other club that I've added, actually after experimenting with a number of these clubs, is a dedicated chipper. Now, normally I am not a guy to have a chipper club, but for doing the pop and run shots and getting myself close to the hole and giving myself a little bit more reliable out from the rough 2 or 3 feet away. And then I've also used these shots for 10, 15 yards off the green. They've worked really well because you can just go into a putter stance. This Top Flite one has taken the spot in my bag. I've actually tried the Maisel as well as the Pine Meadow Golf, and they are both pretty good. But what I liked about this was that it's a little bit offset so that your hands are going to stay ahead of the ball. You can see it kind of right there. The hosel is ahead of the club face. It has a nice wide sole, so it tends to float over the rough stuff, which is nice. It has a really nice finish, which is kind of funny because there aren't a lot of companies that make chippers, and the ones that do kind of get a little sloppy on the finish. It also has, I think, like this a polyester insert on the face, so you get kind of a nice soft face to it. Now, I have taken off the standard grip that comes with it, and I have put on the best putter grip on the market, and this is the Edel round grip here. And what I love about it is perfectly round. It's 1.2 inches in diameter, and the nice thing about it is it gives me a lot of purchase without putting a lot of pressure on the grip handle. Now, that is a great segue into the final club here, which is my Adele golf putter, which has my Ready Putt cover on it, which is the best putter cover ever invented, with a ball cleaning cloth up there and a magnet on the bottom for holding all of your accessories. But this Adele putter is by far the nicest putter I've ever owned, and I've owned a lot of putters, and it is just fantastic. It's an incredible piece of engineering. I actually did a full review on this, and it was like 25 minutes long, and I actually didn't even get to all of the great things on it. I was thinking of doing another follow-up video on it because there are so many subtle things that are in this that Adele themselves, I don't even think really promote on their website that much. So just really a phenomenal putter. As you can see, it's beautiful. It looks a little Scotty Cameron-ish, but it's torque balanced, so it's going to resist twisting, and it is just really a straight and easy putter to putt, and it's much lighter than my older Adele putter, and it is the most expensive club in my bag. There you go. It is. Now, the reason I put that putter grip on my chipper is because this one came with it too, and I just fell in love with it. It's awesome to have a nice oversized grip on the putter. You can take a nice light grip and keep good control over it and put the ball right in the hole. You're not too good for your home, are you? Yeah, that's what I thought. So there it is, man. That is a full tour of all the clubs in my bag, from my Callaway Driver to my Callaway Hybrids to my Cobra Irons and my PM Grind wedges and my Top Flite chipper and my Edel putter. Hey, thanks for joining the Panda Nation. If you want to pick up any of this stuff, I'll put links to it in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.